I think Terence Crawford right now in the sport of boxing is the pound for pound best fighter in the sport of boxing right now. It's good to see him in his position, in the position that he's in. Terence Crawford, continue to be great, continue to do you, continue to love your family, and all fighters. I want to see all fighters do good in the sport of boxing.
Floyd Mayweather recently criticized Canelo Alvarez and declared Terence Crawford as the current best pound-for-pound boxer in the world. In contrast, Teofimo Lopez offered a more balanced take, saying a potential matchup between Canelo and Crawford would be great for boxing. He finds the idea of Crawford jumping up 3 weight classes exciting and acknowledges it as a major challenge. Lopez pointed out that while Canelo has dominated at 168 pounds for years, his move up to 175 to face Dimitri Bivol didn't go as planned. He also mentioned that Canelo needs to beat William Skull to reclaim undisputed status at super middleweight. Overall, Lopez believes the fight would be thrilling and a treat for boxing fans.
Gonna fight against Canelo Alvarez, 2 weight classes up, September. You've also trained with Canelo. I've seen you around him. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
I think it's a good matchup. It's good noise, so to speak. You know, and it's good for the sport of boxing. You get to see what Crawford could do going up 3 weight classes. You know, which is a huge step up and on his part. And then you get to see Canelo and see if he's able to maintain the 168-pound division. You know, he's been there for quite some time, and we've seen Canelo go up to 75 to fight Bivol. It didn't look too well for him. You know, but we'll see. I think it's a great matchup. Obviously, Canelo has to do his part in winning and collecting another belt to become undisputed once again in that weight class against William Skull. So it's a great matchup. I think that is definitely eye-pleasing for the crowd.
Frank Warren believes that Terence Crawford could present serious problems for Canelo Alvarez in the ring. He highlighted Crawford's movement and boxing skills, noting that despite the significant weight disadvantage, Crawford remains a real threat. Warren pointed out that in Canelo's most recent fight, his opponent's jabs were initially falling short, but as the bout progressed and the pace slowed, those shots began to land, indicating that Canelo was getting caught more frequently. He said this trend adds intrigue to a potential showdown with Crawford. Warren also mentioned that Crawford was ringside for the fight and appeared pleased with what he saw, suggesting he may have identified openings to exploit.
Give Canelo a real problem there. I think early on you can see he's a mover, and he's obviously a very good boxer. I think to start with, when he's throwing his jab, it was falling short. They weren't emphatic punches, and I think as it slowed down, it was then connecting. You know, he was catching it. It makes that Crawford fight, I think, more an intriguing fight. You know, I always say a good big and a good little one, and he's got to give a lot of weight away, Crawford, but he could give Canelo a real problem now because Canelo was getting caught.
Watching that, do you think Crawford might be, perhaps licking his lips isn't the right word?
Well, I'm sure he was. He was sitting ringside. He was sitting a couple of seats away from me ringside. You could see he liked it. No schmuck. He knows his boxing. And the other thing is, you've got to look at, what's his name? Was it Modric? What's his name? Madrimov, who he fought. Also gave him a tough fight for a guy who only had 12 fights. So it's going to be a very, very interesting fight.
Jaron Boots Ennis expressed confidence in Terence Crawford's chances against Canelo Alvarez, saying he believes Crawford has a great shot at winning. He praised Crawford's all-around abilities, his movement, boxing IQ, and punching power, and emphasized that Crawford wouldn't fight like William Skull, but would bring the fight directly to Canelo. Ennis also pointed out that Crawford comes from a tough background and knows how to handle pressure and adversity. He added that Crawford has the potential to frustrate Canelo in the ring with his skill and grit.
He's got a great chance to beat him, man. You know what I mean? Terence can box. Terence can move, Terence can punch. You know what I mean? Terence ain't gonna be doing like Skull. Terence gonna fight you. You know what I mean? He's Terence from the street, man. You know what I mean? He know what to do. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it. And I think he's gonna wind up frustrating Canelo. You know what I mean?
Boots Ennis went even further, saying he believes Terence Crawford might actually stop Canelo Alvarez. While he acknowledged Canelo's durability and strong chin, Ennis noted that Canelo has never faced someone with Crawford's precision and punching accuracy. He highlighted Crawford's ability to place his shots effectively, especially to the body, an area many fighters, including heavy hitters like Gennady Golovkin, have been reluctant to target against Canelo. Ennis explained that Crawford's smart bodywork could force Canelo to lower his guard, potentially creating an opening for a knockout.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? I think Terence gonna do what he do, man. I think Terence might stop him. He might stop him, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man.
Canelo Alvarez got one of the best chins.
Yeah, but hey, listen, he ain't been hit by Terence though. Terence can punch, man. You know what I mean? I know you've been in with some of the great punches and all that, but them punches gotta be placed right. You know what I mean? And Terence placed them punches, man. Them body shots, man. I don't see too many people go to Canelo body. Have you seen that?
Not really.
Not too many people.
Even Triple G, who's
That's
a good
what I'm
body
saying.
puncher.
Yeah, but
everything was up top.
Everybody, and he got a hard head, man. So I will go to the body, go to the head, and go back down to the body. And then once you keep on going to the body, he's gonna drop his hands. Once he drops his hands, good night.
Tima shared his thoughts on the potential matchup, saying it's intriguing because of Terence Crawford's sharp mind and strategic approach in the ring. He highlighted Crawford's intelligence and ability to adapt during fights, drawing a comparison to how Floyd Mayweather outclassed Canelo. Tima believes Crawford has the ring IQ and tactical skill to deliver a similar kind of performance and possibly outwit Canelo over the course of the fight.
Good fight because Crawford's very smart. We saw what Floyd did to Canelo, so Crawford's got the IQ to do that.
Oscar De La Hoya acknowledged Terence Crawford's accomplishments in boxing, but noted that based on his own experience, fighters moving up in weight often struggle against naturally bigger and stronger opponents. While he admitted that Crawford still has a chance, De La Hoya suggested that the primary motivation behind the potential fight with Canelo is financial rather than driven by pure sporting ambition.
Let's say Canelo Crawford, in the history of boxing, and this is the facts. Let's get it. If you see Thursdays, Pack Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right, I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never been a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking.
Gervonta Tank Davis echoed Oscar De La Hoya's views, suggesting that Terence Crawford's motivation for pursuing a fight with Canelo Alvarez is likely financial. Davis hinted that money is a key factor driving Crawford's decision and expressed skepticism about his chances in the ring. He pointed out that moving up multiple weight classes to face a physically larger and stronger opponent like Canelo would be a massive challenge, and he questioned whether Crawford could truly succeed under such difficult circumstances.
No. Crawford needs the money.
Crawford needs the money.
You think he got a chance to win?
What makes you say that?
He needs the money. I'm telling you.
Does he have a chance to win?
Top Ring ain't paying like that, and they ain't paying like that.
So you don't
see, they ain't paying like that.
It's going up three or four weight classes. You think the chances of him?
That's why you say why you don't like them. That's real shit.
Davis clarified that he's not trying to convince anyone that Crawford can beat Canelo, but he did acknowledge Crawford's skill. He noted that while smaller fighters often face disadvantages in size, they can have an edge in speed and movement, factors that can make them surprisingly effective.
Convince y'all that he can beat Canelo? He's a good fighter. But, bro, I would say smaller fighters are always better than bigger fighters because they're smaller, they know how to move and things like that. But this guy is great at what he do.
Shannon Briggs expressed strong confidence in Terence Crawford, boldly predicting a knockout victory if he faces Canelo Alvarez. Emphasizing Crawford's power, Briggs said he's so sure of the outcome that he's willing to bet big, anywhere, from $30,000 to $100,000 on Crawford winning. Although he's not usually one to gamble, Briggs declared that the fight wouldn't go the distance and would end before the final bell.
I'm going with Crawford. Yeah, he's strong. This is his moment. I'm going with Crawford by knockout. Yeah, I'm betting too. And I don't even bet. I'm not even a gambling man. How much are you going to bet? I don't even know. Anywhere from 1,000 to 100,000. Wow. 100,000 not 1 round. I'm going by Crawford by stoppage.
Robert Diaz praised Terence Crawford's boxing intelligence and said the potential matchup with Canelo Alvarez has the ingredients of a classic, likening it to the legendary clash between Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard. He noted that while Canelo consistently comes in top shape. Crawford has been methodically preparing for a challenge like this, carefully building his career step by step rather than rushing into a big fight without the proper foundation.
Crawford has a top IQ. He could give a lot of problems. It is a fight of the ages. It's one of those Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard type fights. I see that as the modern one, day one. Canelo is going to be at his top, at his A game like he always does, takes every fight serious, prepares. But Crawford's not taking the jump from one day to the next. He's been working on it for a long time, getting that body.
David Benavidez acknowledged that Terence Crawford has a genuine chance against Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing that Crawford's impressive boxing IQ and experience will play key roles in the fight. However, Benavidez also pointed out the challenge Crawford faces moving up in weight, noting that Crawford recently fought at 154 pounds. He said it remains uncertain how the jump in weight will affect the outcome of the matchup.
Bro, I think if anybody can beat Canelo, I think Bud, his IQ, and his experience will definitely help him through. It's just that, you know what I mean? He's going up 2 other weight classes when he had just went up to 154. So we'll see what happens.